I'm Tabitha Rock.
And I'm Sam Davenport.
Born and bred in Melbourne, we live and breathe property, and we know the Melbourne market like the back of our hand. We've both been buying and selling real estate in Metro Melbourne for over 2 decades combined, and we've learned a few lessons along the way.
Sam,
Tabitha,
this app,
I want to know all about it.
I want to give you five lessons from a renovation I did recently.
I love that.
I know. And then I want you to give me 5 lessons from a renovation you did.
Oh, I will.
So this is a 2-part podcast situation.
Bonanza.
I love that word.
I love that word.
Oh my gosh. But we wanted to do this for several reasons. I think first and foremost, we bang on to our clients all the time that a great way to build equity in the properties you buy or get them to accelerate at a faster rate of growth than just sitting back and praying that the market goes up is to manufacture your own growth through renovation. But, you know, a lot of people can do it wrong. They get it wrong because one of the key things we talk to people about is when they're doing a renovation, yes, you know, do a renovation for obviously you to love and enjoy and for your family and make it fit. And if you're doing a reno that's you're going to live in for 15 years but it's got pink walls and that's fine, pink tiles in your bathroom, which isn't everyone's taste and cup of tea. One key consideration is to talk to a local agent just about, you know, what that market likes. Do they like pretty standard white tiles, or are we in the inner north of Melbourne and they're a bit funky and cool and want sort of like wooden panels and, I don't know, wrought iron fences and something that won't be found in Brighton. But, yeah, to really understand what that market wants in your renovation. But I just thought that this was really interesting because Sam and I have both done renovations on homes personally and professionally, but I think both the ones that we're going to talk about were major renovations. I recently bought a place in country Victoria, a little country retreat, I like to call it.
It is a retreat.
Yeah, outdoor bath and all.
That wasn't there when you bought it.
Definitely wasn't there when I bought it. But, you know, the 5 lessons can be translated into any renovation. So I think the first lesson that I learnt really quickly that was plumbing was really expensive. It was an expensive trade. I think I underestimated that. I went in it, I had a building inspection done, but knowing, and they don't usually check electricals, but I could tell by the switchboard that it needed a full rewire. So I went into it understanding that was sort of 15, 20 grand right there. In fact, I needed to contact the electrical people to get what's that? The wire that connects the house to the main power source.
What's the actual wire called?
I don't know. Like, what's that thing? Anyway, I had to call the people to get that lifted higher because it meant to be a minimum of like 3 meters off the ground.
Right.
That I didn't know, but definitely did know the full rewire. So I knew that was going to be expensive. Definitely didn't understand how expensive plumbing as a trade is. And if you speak to any tradies, they'll tell you like they all plumbers drive like Rolls Royces because
I was going to say, isn't it plumbers and electricians are all the richies?
Oh, there you go. Well, we know who we're going after for dates.
Developers.
Yeah. Classic. No, but seriously, holler at us.
Yeah, hit us up.
Yeah. So I think just understanding that is a trade that charges a lot of money. I think when I used to do renovations and help clients with renovations from a selling agent perspective, I used to say to people, try not to move the sewer around. So that means like if the toilet's there, then your bathroom really has to stay pretty much there, and then you have to get just be able to move the sewerage just a little bit. I actually did speak to a bathroom renovator recently, and he said, you know, if the house is quite a bit off the ground, that's not a big deal. But just understand that plumbing is going to cost you a lot. I mean, I don't know. Did you find that in your reno?
Well, I pulled the whole back half of the house off and just started again and laid a whole new foundation and all of that sort of stuff. So it's definitely different.
Yeah.
But the looking at what you're dealing with in terms of the structure of the property. So say, for example, you're dealing with like a 1970s build where it's on a concrete slab and you've got the plumbing and all the pipe work going through a concrete slab. Let's use our judgment, our common sense. And we obviously know that moving pipe work from within concrete slabs is a very different story to underneath, if it's an elevated house that's on timber stumps or concrete stumps or whatever, and you've got very clear under house access, then it's literally like what's the game? Mousetrap. Where you used to, you connect the plumbing underneath the property.
Was that a solo person game? Because that's the only game.
No, you needed multi-people. Oh, no, I reckon you could have played it alone. I don't know.
No, I was a solitaire girl myself.
But, solitaire. You didn't try and play Connect 4 on both sides? Try and pretend you were two people.
I'm not that much of a loser. I was on the Game Boy. Anyway, but yeah, Tetris. I mean, the house that I bought, it had massive clearance under the house, so that wasn't a problem. But and I knew, so therefore, I thought plumbing was going to be a little bit cheaper because the access was so easy, and but that, I mean, I learned that the hard way. And I just got heaps of different plumbers and they were really unreliable. And so if you're looking to get into a trade, get into plumbing, answer your phone, be reliable, and you'll easily be set apart from the rest. But just I upgraded, I changed the whole kitchen, I installed dishwashers, I put in, as we said, the outdoor bath. I even installed a wood fireplace in the living space that needed a gas plumber.
So then, no wonder why your plumbing bill was big. So so you had 1, 2, 3 in the bathroom. You didn't do anything with the toilet.
No.
4 with the outdoor bath. 5 with the kitchen with the dishwasher. 6 with the stovetop. And 7 with the fireplace.
No, so I went electric. I went, what's induction?
Induction.
Because I'm progressive.
You are progressive.
I didn't really understand how to use an induction stove before I bought it, but, this is all about learning and growing, out with electric and out with gas and in with induction. On to the next one. So I did get a building inspection, which we obviously recommend all our clients get, especially on big homes that haven't had a update. And this was, when I bought it, definitely a renovator. It barely had a kitchen that you could work in. But the key here and the key lesson is not to get overwhelmed by the building inspection because there's 60 pages of how horrible, hopeless, falling down, in tatters, asbestos everywhere house. Well, yeah, the house was built in the 1950s.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's okay. It hasn't fallen down since then. But funny I mentioned that is because in the roof, the building inspector did say that some of the trusses were broken through, which, is definitely a major structural defect and definitely didn't sway me to not go ahead with the purchase.
Yeah.
I just engaged a registered builder and they reinforced the truss, and it was happy days, and we got engineers involved and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think you just need to understand when you get these building and pest inspections that heaps of things will come up.
It's literally a list of defects. It doesn't include anything about why you fell in love with the property to start with. It doesn't include anything about the fundamentals of the property and why it's going to continue to give you strong capital growth. It doesn't give you anything to do with all of the A-grade values in that property. It gives you a list of the defects, a list of all of the things that are wrong with the property. And we always say this to our clients, use it as a maintenance plan for the first few years of ownership. That's all it is. if, yes, it's got major structural defects, multiple major structural defects, or one structural defect that you had no idea was going to be in there and that now blows it out of your budget, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in line with what you're expecting and in line with the property type, meaning that for the like-for-like property in the street, in the suburb, in the area, you're going to see a similar style report, then it's what you should have expected to see. But yeah, they're overwhelming, and we have to really coach people through these reports because they're so bloody long and they're so negative.
So negative. Oh, yeah. The building inspector was like, run.
Run.
And I was like, no.
Should you have run? No. It's great.
I don't know.
No, it's great. It's just one of the lessons.
I know. It is great. And look, I've got a long-term plan for it and things like that, and it works in with the goal that I have for that purchase. But I think, you know, the amount of asbestos that was in this house, like luckily underneath the house, I actually didn't have a lot of asbestos, which back in the day, that's where they would do the reno on the house and then just shove all the building material under the house, which is a real problem. And so that can get quite costly to remove all that because you do need to get asbestos people in. But I got asbestos taken off the back shed and in other parts of the house because a lot of the lino tiles actually have asbestos, yeah. And funnily enough, I had clients recently purchase a place which the building inspection flagged that they thought the carpet underlay had asbestos in it, which I thought was really good to be flagged because, you know, that's a normal DIY task.
Yeah,
of
you're
people
not going to rip it up yourself if you know it's got asbestos underlay.
Yeah, exactly. And another property I purchased for a client in Windsor, they were, I think, sanding the walls or something happened and it was flagged that the paint had asbestos in it, which wasn't flagged in the building and pest inspection report, which because, I mean, a lot of the building inspectors we work with, they're great. They've been in the game a long time, so they sort of can tell asbestos with the naked eye. But really, you do need it tested to be able to really say, yes, this is asbestos.
Yeah. Our reports always say suspected asbestos, but you look at when the property was built or renovated, and if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Wise words from Sam Davenport. Next one is, and this is the controversial one, vinyl flooring is back and it's hot. I'm into it. I put it in there. I love it. It's so durable. It was inexpensive. It's cute. It feels good underfoot. It worked with my wonky floors.
Yes, that is a huge draw card for it.
Yeah.
So when you do engineered flooring or any sort of timber flooring or tiling, one of their first things they've got to do is level the floor. Whereas with vinyl, it's basically like contact for your school books. Just roll
that is
it out.
A great analogy.
Just roll it out over the bumps and the wonks, and the front door can be up here and you can have a few mils difference from the front to the back, and it doesn't matter. You just roll it out.
I mean, I didn't roll it out. I got an expert because I think it would be slightly wonkier if I had rolled it out myself. But the beautiful thing about it also is it could flow into wet areas. So it's all throughout the living area. It's all in the kitchen. It's all throughout the bathroom. And it's just this seamless flow of flooring, which is really great. And it has a wood sort of effect. I think obviously, like anything, you do need to make sure you're picking the right
high quality. Yeah.
Well, not even high quality, just like, you know, if you're getting white laminate like
flooring,
white faux wood paneling, like obviously we know that that's not, like, it will look a bit more tacky and plasticky, but mine's this like beautiful light color, and
it's similar to laminate bench tops as well. Like obviously back in the day they were hideous and it was just considered, and it still is the cheapest option that you've got. But of course, like with everything in 2024, you know, the options are varied, they're wide, and you've got, particularly when people are installing it properly and professionally, it can be a fantastic budget-friendly alternative
And
to
I think
everything else.
Well, and I think it's great option for people that are like, okay, this is for the beach shack, or this is for the investment property,
Exactly.
or the country retreat. You know, it's not going in our multi-million-dollar mansions. Okay, I hear you, but it might go in the pool house. You know, as a nice little cheaper alternative to the pool house that's being forgotten. That's good with wet people.
Wet people.
Well, like in the pool
Wet
house.
people.
Wet
I know
people.
what you mean.
Anyway, so it's no longer that sort of checkered flooring vibes. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
So hit up local flooring companies
and just ask them to include it in a quote if you're getting your flooring done. And it's really important to make sure it's fitting with the property in that area. Property in that area and the value of the property. You know, you don't want to sort of downgrade your property with updates. Obviously, you want to upgrade it. So you want to make sure that you're not sort of replacing original timber floors in a Victorian home just because they're not in perfect condition. Don't replace that with laminate, please. Dear God, you know.
Yeah. Great call.
Yeah.
The next one, my fourth lesson is don't stress the paint color. Gosh, I have so many conversations with people about, oh my gosh, I had the most gorgeous client in Northcote who got a Dulux color consultant, which I actually didn't even know was a thing, but it was a great process for her to go through. They came out to the house and I think was organised through Bunnings potentially.
Yeah, that's through Bunnings. I think it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's free as well. Anyway, she was delightful, but I think you can almost overcomplicate paint choice and paint options because it's like you walk into Bunnings with that Dulux, we need Hames paint wall and it's like, I don't know, all the whites are blurring and blending and looking the same.
Yeah.
But my go-to is Dulux Lexicon Quarter. For those who want to know my hot tip, Sam, what's your go-to?
Mine is dependent on the property type. So if you've got a period home, Dulux Natural White.
Okay.
And
we're talking interiors here.
Interior, very important. My go-to for a period home is definitely Dulux Natural White. And that was given to me years ago now, not too long ago that it's no longer relevant, but a few years ago by a very, very successful and divine interior designer. And Lexicon Quarter if it's a more modern property. Yeah, because it gives a bit of a starker finish, whereas Natural White has just that tiny hint of warmth to it, which works in well with period homes. But the amount of time people labour over the bloody whites and you just think, just let it go.
And they've got all those swatches and it's just…
But they start painting it on the walls and then they get, they don't mark it properly.
Hang on, and
ask
then they
someone
ask,
who knows and move on.
They ask friends and family to come over and every man and their dog has an opinion.
Oh, my God, terrible.
Uneducated opinion. Back in the day, I loved the Antique White USA.
We painted every single property in Richmond was painted by us and by
around
our
the 2010 mark.
Yeah. As Antique White USA, which is basically yellow.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Well, that's what was good at the time, and that's what our painter used to use, so therefore that's what we use.
I know. I have a comment here that it was considered slightly warmer, not yellow, but
warmer
I think
yellow.
Then we phased into like half Antique White USA strength situation.
Yeah, quarter on the ceiling.
That's probably a bit better. It's funny. And also I think hand in hand with the don't stress the paint colour is just don't paint. I learnt this after my first place that I 3-4 weeks I recruited my friends. I had them on a daily rotational schedule situation. I kept telling them I was going to woo them with beers and wine and lunches and dinners, and I was like, no, just get to work, get here at 7 a.m. I'm over
the
this.
Next 7 hours.
Yeah, and buy me lunch because I'm over this. It was so stressful. Pay the painter.
I can't believe you did it twice.
I've only done
because you did that one place internally, but you only did one coat. But when you were doing that, I remember I called you one day and you were there and you were saying so-and-so's here and so-and-so's here, and I was like, Oh, yeah.
Yeah, couldn't get me off the phone fast enough, so
Oh.
you didn't get roped in.
Nah, no way. Because, I'm just mind you, I'm an outsourcer from way
Yeah.
back, but pay the painter.
But-
not only do they do such a better job, you can tell the difference is so obvious between a job that's been done by a professional painter and one that's been a home job.
Oh, yeah. But do you know what? And I say this to clients all the time buying their first home. I said, paint it, and then you'll know how much you hate it. So you have to do one house. You have to paint one house to go through the pain.
I see
And
what
then
you're
we
saying.
move on, and now we outsource moving forward.
Yes.
Just on a side note, I did actually, because we're in the country and doing a whole retreat vibes, I did do a few feature walls and actually painted the laundry, all walls and ceilings, which looks super cute. Dulux Domino, which I love this colour also around back fences when you've got the green shrub sort of, that contrast.
Yeah.
Immaculate.
Yeah, I did all my fences in Dulux Domino.
Did
with
you?
the espaliered lemons in front.
Oh.
Like, it's such a vibe.
Were you a landscaper?
I always think that I
Should have been.
should do that. / I just like doing it on my own property.
Yeah.
Do I care too much about other people? Not that
really.
much.
I know you taught me actually doing the 2 citrus trees so they can
Talk to each other.
Talk to each other and share the bees.
Yeah.
Which is what they're meant to do. Just one final thing on paint, because I love paint so much and I want to bang on about it in my 4th lesson of this episode, is that please don't underestimate the power of painting bricks, panels, front doors, game changer.
Yeah.
Just completely change the aesthetics of anything. Front fences, front gates, garages, whatever you can paint it. It will change the game.
Unless you've got a beautiful looking natural brick, you better paint that brick.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that mission brown brick ever. When what we can get is a beautiful textured effect by just painting it.
Actually, one thing I did paint was my chimneys. So my house is all white, and then I have these red brick chimneys that stuck out like sore thumbs. So I painted the chimneys, but only up to the roof line, which the painter recommended, which now I drive around the streets and notice that all the chimneys that are painted the same colour as the house is only painted up to the roof line. So the rest of the chimney poking up, is still the
I
red
see.
brick.
Yeah.
Which is
But
interesting.
if you are planning to paint your own brick wall, just understand you're going to need double the amount of paint you think you're going to need. They absorb that first coat like you wouldn't believe. They thirsty.
Thirsty gals.
Thirsty gals.
Okay, and lastly, you'll spend more than you think.
Classic lesson to learn.
That was a real tough pill to swallow. I mean, I think previously with my renos that I've done, I've just sort of done glow ups.
Yeah.
I've done the soft furnishings, the changing of the blinds, the paint, maybe the flooring was updated. And this, because I was going from top to bottom to top, whatever the hell that I did, it was just like, okay, now I'll do this. And I remember getting to a point and I had the painters there and I was like, okay, well, or a handyman or someone. And I was like, hang on, maybe we'll take the wiring out of the front fence, replace that with wooden panels, and then I'll get the painter. I was already well over budget and it was just this never-ending situation. And I was like, I should fix this and I should fix that. And the veranda front looked a little nasty. And so I got the painter to paint it with this speckled paint. And does it look cute and amazing? Yes. Do I regret it? No. Was I 25% over budget? Yes.
Yeah.
And just so just stop, you have to draw the line somewhere and just say, okay, what's the most important? I did the most excessive deck on the back of this house.
I can't believe your deck.
Oh my gosh. It's
again amazing and added, totally added value, but obviously helped to put you over budget. Mind you, didn't someone help you build that?
Yeah, I got a favour from a friend.
Called in a favour from a friend.
And I mean, that's obviously where you can save money on your reno. Just really rope in the friends, but they'll really hate you afterwards. And there's only so many favours you can call in. But key lesson there is really draw the line. Just
Yeah.
stop getting overly excited. My front fence could have waited another year down the track. It wasn't going to detract from what I want to do with that property right now. So I really should have just left that one. But anyway, here we are.
I think we're spending more than you think the reason why it is such a common thing that people come up against is because piss poor planning.
Yes, leads to piss poor performance.
Yeah.
Great.
You know, like if you really sit down, if you had have sat down and everyone, I think and particularly because of the way in which you did it, which was I'm gonna engage individual trades
100%.
as I go.
And that's what I did. I project managed.
Yeah.
I didn't get a builder that did the whole thing
Yeah.
and knew where we were starting and stopping.
Exactly. And, you know, were the trades connected to each other? Not necessarily. They were individual trades. So it's not like that plumber often works with that electrician and so they were able to do X, Y, Z. No, it's individual trades. And as you go, you're sort of coming up with things as you go. Not you necessarily, but they are also. Like the trades are saying to you, oh, actually now you've got to add in this. That was an unforeseen cost. Actually now you've got to add in that, which was an unforeseen cost. So it just naturally snowballs a little bit. And then the more, you know, as you start to clear up this corner, then you look at that corner and you think, well, now I want to do that one. And it doesn't make sense if I don't do the third one. May as well do the fourth one. You know, there's no – so it naturally happens. But to sit down and really put it in place as a plan and then just stick to that plan, it should be within budget unless there's unforeseen.
Well, but I think also one forgets to put the little 1%ers down, and the 1%ers being skip bins. Skip bins are expensive.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I think by the end of it, I'd hired 4 skip bins.
Yeah.
So, you know, that wasn't a line item. I think I'd put a line item down for 1 skip bin.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
did
Yeah,
not
yeah,
understand how many skip bins I needed.
it was going to take.
Yeah. So it's those little things. But I think this is why we wanted to do an episode like this, is that you can learn so much from other people's mistakes and learnings. And so
100%.
listen to these sort of podcasts and like, you know, a three-bird schoolgirl, whatever they're called. They have a schoolgirl reno.
3 Birds Renovation School.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Or
Anyway.
what's She Build? She Build?
She-
Her Build.
Something.
Her Build.
Something.
You know
but
it.
there's a lot of people around.
There's so much out there.
Yeah.
All the answers are at your fingertips for everything.
And the good thing about this is get the information, because you don't want to be undoing things down the track.
No.
So try and get as much information. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, and making sure that any of the renovations that you're doing are either adding value or adding comfort to help you stay in the property longer.
Yeah. Oh, and I told you in the previous episode I was going to give you a key takeaway.
Yeah.
And this is the key takeaway.
Oh, give it to us.
When you're doing your reno, put a key safe on the property. It sounds like a no-brainer, but everyone doesn't do it. Like the number of times I bought properties for clients and I'm like, oh, so the first thing you need to do is go to Bunnings and get a key safe. And they look at me blankly and I was like, you put a key there, and now next time you need a tradie to quote or a tradie to go through, you don't have to meet them at the property at 7 a.m. when they want to get through before they start their first job or whatever. You've got the key safe, you give them the code, you change it every couple of weeks so you don't get people coming back for fun times. Yeah. That's a good one.
Definitely. Love it.
Love it.
I feel like we've all just really learnt a lot. Thanks, Tabitha.
Yeah, pleasure, treasure. And I can't wait for your
I know
5 lessons.
Stay tuned for SD's renovation lessons.
Yeah. Now, because we were talking about being out in the country, I want to do Fuck, Marry, Kill for regional Victoria.
Okay.
Yeah. So being a bit crazy, I want you to tell me, are you fucking, marrying or killing Geelong, Bendigo or Ballarat?
Kill Geelong.
Okay.
No, I already want to take that back. Wait, I don't know Ballarat or Bendigo well enough to answer this. Wait, which one's got Sovereign Hill? We don't service
I don't-
regional Victoria just
yet.
FYI.
No,
just
just
yet.
yet.
No. But
we're-
but even when we do it, prop culture's going to do it. But Sam and Tabitha aren't doing it.
No.
Let me just quickly look.
No, you can't do that. You have to.
I'll go where I'll F where Sovereign Hill is. Where's that?
I think it's Ballarat. No, I think it's
Golden
Bendigo.
Point.
No, because we're.
You've
Oh my
really
God,
thrown me off.
No, Sovereign Hill's definitely Ballarat because that's a gold rush area.
Ballarat. Yeah. Okay, so
yeah.
I'll marry Geelong because I'll tell you what, my mum lived in East Geelong for a period of time, and that Bay area where they've got a lot going on,
yeah.
it is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous. And there's a specific house, if anyone knows that that part of Geelong very well. Right, the very first house right up on the hill, a big white wraparound Victorian property with the big porch at the front. That's my future home in some capacity. Not really that one because I don't want to be on the main road. But yeah, I'll marry Geelong. I'll F Sovereign Hill. Where is it again?
Ballarat.
And what's the other one?
Yeah, you're killing Bendigo.
Kill. It's got a bad rap from the past. I'm sure it's good now, but
Yeah.
I don't know Bendigo.
I mean, because my house is near Ballarat, I definitely have to marry Ballarat.
You already did.
I did marry it. Well, for 30 years to the bank. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, I'm killing Bendigo because it's just that little bit too far from Melbourne, and I want like a cute commute to Melbourne. I want to be in touch with Melbourne.
Cute commute.
Cute
commute.
And let's fuck Geelong because I like sea. I like water.
And they've got good restaurants. They've got good coffee.
It's like a mini Melbourne.
They've got a botanic gardens there. They've literally got everything you need.
Yeah.
It is a mini Melbourne. Wasn't that the whole point of what they did in Geelong? They tried to create a second CBD.
Yeah, exactly.
How did that go, government?
I think it's gone pretty well.
I don't know. Not sure we'd call it the second CBD, but no, they did something down there. It's great. We love it.
We love it.
We love
anyway.
regional. Sorry, you just threw me off. I wasn't prepared.
Oh, get prepared, girl. Okay, well, hope that was helpful.
Bye-bye now.